All right. So let's go over the D2L site, the shell, and the syllabus, and kind of what a normal week looks like for this class. So let me share my screen. All right. So when you log on to D2L, this is probably what you're going to see. Uh, that was taken like 10 years ago, but I'm sticking with it. So, in the announcements, we have the Zoom link, which obviously those of you who are on Zoom found. Uh, if you're face to face, that's where our class will be when the weather's not atrocious. Um, there's a link to the book. We'll talk about the book a little more. There's my email, there's my office hours. Um, you can walk in on Zoom, walk in person, but I might be with another student. So, you could either try walking in or you can email me and make an appointment and I'll reserve the time for you. And if these hours don't work for you, email me and we'll find something that does. The If you go to content, I opened up theory class 1, and because if you're just asynchronous, you're used to classes beginning on Mondays online. But because we're on Zoom and we have a face-to-face component as well, so we have live lectures and interaction, that just happens to be the class time is Thursday night at 7. So that's when our week will technically begin for this class. And you'll have, if there's an assignment, if there's a discussion board or something like that, you'll have until next Thursday to complete it, you know. So you'll have a week, to complete everything. Um, so just looking at this, I usually add a lot of things on here. Um, One of the things that really bothered me when I was K through 12 or college or graduate school or my doctoral program is like I'd see professors using notes and they'd expect me to write down what they're saying. That's just crazy. Just give me your notes. I mean, why don't they? What's the deal? Is it like, are they top secret? No, they're telling us what they say. So I gave you all my notes. It's about 100 pages of notes. So I wouldn't print it all in one setting, but it's your own little book of notes. Uh, and it's a nice study guide for those larger tests that you'll be taking later, like comps and the NCE for licensure. Um, and yeah, so you can download them. So compiled notes for the entire semester in one file. Um, I also, if you don't want to download that large file, I also provide them each week by theorist. So you can do it either way. You can do it weekly or you can do it all at once, whatever you want to do. But it is important to read the notes and to watch my lectures. Reading the notes and watching my lectures is more important than reading the book. But I'm not saying don't read the book, read the book. So, uh, Corey's not that original, but he does write a good textbook. Uh, let's see. Okay. Um, so for instance, one of the lectures I have recorded for tonight is on history of ethics, history and ethics in the profession and theories. And then I have the notes just on that lecture. So I have them individually as well. And then I don't use PowerPoints. I just tell stories basically. Uh, so, but the textbook does provide PowerPoints to professors. I'm guessing most of them use them. Uh, but I hated professors that just read from PowerPoint, so I don't use them, but I give them to you. Maybe you like PowerPoints. It's a nice outline of whatever we're doing. Um, Also uploaded the ACA Code of Ethics for you. Okay. And then our discussion board that you will be completing this week by next Thursday is basically introductions. You're online, it's hard to meet each other. I want you to know about each other at least a little bit. So there's some questions here that you can answer. And, you know, let me change this. Let's see. Please post your response before next class. There you go. You got a week. Um, and then the last thing on this list is one of our assignments is you're going to get a partner and make a class video with them where you are actually using a theory with a partner. One of you is going to be like the theorist and one's going to be the client, and it'll be fun. Because you get to pick like a character. It could be a comic book character, it could be a movie character, it could be an Avenger, it could be Batman. You know, every Disney princess and every Marvel character has got some issue going on that you can counsel. All right. Uh, yeah, so I'll give special instructions just on that. All right, so let's look at the syllabus. So don't be, overwhelmed by this. It is a lot. But we're going to take it in an orderly way, one theory each week. I think that'll be an easy way for you to keep it straight in your mind, just focusing on one theory a week. So I think that'll be a good way to do it. Let's see. So the book. So I think the bookstore does have Corey's book. And the reason I chose Corey's book, um, I actually edited one of these books, Case Approach to Counseling. But he writes a really nice overview of each theory. And most programs use Corey. So, you know, uh, but the new one's really expensive, you know, and all these theorists are dead. So nothing's changing. So, you can buy any edition of this book. I don't care. We're on like edition 10. You buy something like edition 5, edition 6, edition 8, they're all the same. It's all the same theory. So, but what's different is that price. So you could probably find a used edition number 6 for $10, $4 shipping. So my only caveat here is don't go cheap on shipping. Get the book. If you're saving $100, spend lavishly on shipping. All right. We got K-CREP objectives for the course. You can look at those in your spare time. Let's see. So this is our tentative schedule for the semester. And as you can see, we start with the history, then we go over Freud and Adler, and existentialism, person-centered, Gestalt. We hand out the exam, which is open book, right before spring break, and then you hand it in there. Now, the reason it says exam 2 is because there used to be an exam 1, but I removed it. And I really didn't want to change absolutely everything just to say exam 1. And someday I might have to put exam one back if somebody complains, I really like Freud. Why isn't that on the exam? But, I thought that two exams were plenty for you because you're also going to have a presentation and a final paper. So that's four major assessments. And I think in 15 weeks, four assessments for any course is enough. Yeah. So bang, everybody absolutely gets an A on exam one. How about that? Bonus. All right. So with that being said, that's why it says exam number two. There's no exam one. So over spring break, we hand out this exam. Everybody goes on spring break. They have a great time. And then they decide to do that exam after spring break. Like maybe like 3 days before that Thursday class that it's due. But God knows where you go on spring break. You could be in an airplane, you could come back with COVID. Don't wait until the last minute to do that exam just because I gave you 2 weeks over spring break. Use that time wisely. Don't wait till the end. Needs to be handed in on time, especially because you got 2 weeks to do it. It's open book, it's open notes. You can redo it if you need to, but I don't think anybody really wants to do that. All right. And then we got exam three and we got final paper. And you'll notice that throughout the semester it says presenters. And that is for that video project where you pretend you're a theorist and your partner pretends they're a client. And it should be entertaining and fun. We do have a little outcomes matrix. We have all of these things that K-CREP wants for outcomes. Do you exceed expectations? Do you meet expectations? Did you fall below expectations? That might be valid in some classes, but in this class, you know, you meet expectations or you rewrite it. Let's see. These are the percentages for each assignment. Another thing that's really important is if you click on one of the pieces of information, maybe I post a video, of Carl Rogers counseling Gloria, and you click on it and you don't watch it, but D2L says you've got 100% on accessing the material. That's what students see, but I see access for 1 minute. And I know that counseling session is longer than a minute. So, you actually have to watch every video. You have to read the material that I post because, you have to have about 80% of it completed in order to pass the class. Just accessed and read and watched and all that. Now, there is one thing. If you are face-to-face or on Zoom, you don't have to watch the recording of the class because I know you were here. I know you were in the class. But for all of those individuals who are watching asynchronously, yeah, you got to watch the whole class. All right. They do make me put up this grading scale. There's rubrics for everything. Your rubric is just going to redo it if you need to. Title IX, mandated reporting, definitely following that. If you need an accommodation for a disability, I'll definitely accommodate you. Go through the Office of Students with Disabilities. Have integrity, You could probably type these questions in on some AI thing, but probably won't work very well. So I'm not too worried about it. Um, yeah, come to class, watch the videos, whatever you need to do. Tavera, it tells you what to upload to Tavera at the end of the class. So it tells you to write a paragraph reflecting on what you've taken from this course that you can use as a future counselor. This is not an evaluation of the course. This is about you. You might have hated the course. You can get something from it, even if that something is what not to do as a counselor. So, but this is about you. It's not about the course. We'll have separate evaluations about the course, but you know, everything you uploaded to Vera is about you. So that's the take on it. And I think you upload your final paper. Yeah. All right. So before we move on, questions about the class in general, the syllabus. We're going to go over in detail what's on every exam. We're going to go over what's on the final paper. Don't worry about that now. We'll go over it. But questions.
If we're usually face to face or Zoom or whatever, and we can't make it to a class and have to watch the video, do you want us to email you and let us know, or will you just know from like D2L?
Well, we're adults. I don't take attendance. So, but, um, you know, if you're in the face-to-face program, they do expect you to go to class, and I think you're allowed missing one or two classes, unless there's like snow or you're sick. Please don't come to class if you're sick. I don't want to get sick. So, uh yeah, whatever you need to do. What else? So this is probably, I don't know if anybody's had classes like this before. Maybe, but it's hard to get out of the mindset that, you know, let's say you take the exam and I hand it back without a grade. And, students are in this mindset, oh, I got to get a good grade. And there's no grade. Well, no, because I'm not going to put a grade on it until you get an A. So, you just rewrite it until you kind of master the knowledge. All right.